It's Friday. Do you know where your IT pros are? We don't. It's Patch and Switch. And now, two guys who are permabanned from ever entering any, and I mean any, bubble wrap factory. It's Patch and Switch. So apparently, the statute of limitations for that particular action is over because Announcer Boy just put that out there.
No kidding. That sucks.
So yeah, there was that incident involving the bubble wrap factory, but I don't know that we're allowed to completely talk about it.
No, just because I was running around, waving my hands above my head and gleefully popping bubbles underfoot, like it's a joyous
acting like
moment.
I just don't care.
Yes, it's a joyous moment. Joyous moment. Celebrate bubble wrap.
I want to know how anyone works in a bubble wrap factory and not popping every bubble. That's what I want to know.
That would be one of those jobs that I would get fired in probably within a matter of minutes of starting. Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, you're not allowed.
You could recalibrate the machines to make different sizes of bubbles, and you could actually probably make it so that each one, as you burst them, had a different tone, and you could play music with it. Where is musical bubble wrap? And why has no one invented this yet? Because sometimes
Musical
it's a little
bubble
teeny
wrap.
tiny
Trademark.
high
Patch and Switch.
one, sometimes a slower one. I don't know. What do you think? I think we can do it.
Sure.
You know what? We could submit this through the Microsoft patent engine, and we could get one of those cubes that everyone has on the engineering teams that they're so proud of with their patent cubes. We could get one of those.
Hey, Jared, get out the band hammer.
I'm
Get out
doing
the
it
band
right now.
slacker. Nice.
I love it. Our show is so popular.
Popular enough
we're getting bots.
Actual bots are coming to hang out with us. I love it. Absolutely love it.
We are huge.
Huge. Oh man. Oh man. I'm taking the show standing up today. I don't know if you noticed that. I'm sneezing. Trying to use the standing desk a bit more. But I realized when I raised my standing desk this morning that I had done a massively horrible job for any kind of cable management. Because cables get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, and then stuff starts lifting up off the floor, and then it's sensitive enough that it actually stops and goes back down again. And so I have to go and troubleshoot which of the devices are triggering the sensor of a blockage, and then press it again to see if it goes up. It took me about 6 times to get the desk to the proper standing height today.
I was okay, and then I think it's the new speaker on the desk or something, and the cable isn't long enough, and I just haven't bothered to go rewire it. One of those things.
Oh,
I'm going to be changing out my desk this weekend, and I'm going to be having to set all that up again, all the wiring and everything.
See, this is because Steve, the audio guy, aka Jared Shockley, has been ecstatic about the fact that he has done some Tim the Toolman Taylor renovations inside of the Jayhawk and has removed and gutted his dinette to replace it with space for his standing desk. So he just had to drop that so that we could have that as one of the parts of the show, just to get that.
Are you bolting the standing desk to the Jayhawk?
I will have a system to be able to lock it down when it's in motion, as well as secure the chair so it doesn't slide around. But no, they're going to actually be movable inside.
Hashtag ratchet straps.
Yeah.
Hashtag ratchet straps. Hashtag.
I was
going to works.
Nice. I was going to suggest that you don't need to actually tie it down. Just let it go. Embrace the chaos to see how it rides, and you'll be fine.
You slam on those brakes and woo, Nelly.
That's my philosophy.
I mean, like Rich Campbell says, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
True. TRP 8472 says, idea for Rick, use a loop method recabling for standing desks.
Yep.
Like this once again brings up, I think I brought this up in a previous show. I would pay someone who is an OCD cabling master. I would pay them money to come to my house and come and manage the cables on my desk because I'm
cable
horrible.
management. Okay.
I'm absolutely horrible at it. I had a friend back in the day who was the maestro for all things beautifully cable managed server racks in the networking closet. And I was not allowed to touch anything in there for obvious reasons. But I would love to have someone that could come and do that. So if any one of our 12 listeners who are not family members that are listening right now is interested, and you happen to be in Seattle, in the Redmonds, or actually no, now in the Duvals, I will gladly pay for your time to come and do a good cable management job on my desk. We can make a video about it, do some social promotion about it. You could start a whole new business. I'm there for you.
TRP8472 says he looks after a car auto locksmith who does car keys. He has a mobile desk in the back of his works van, complete with everything he needs. Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably also secured down to the frame of the vehicle. I'm thinking this scenario, probably not so much.
Actually, because the old dinette had seat belts built into it and needed to be secure for seat belts, there are bolts to the frame that I now have access to.
Well, there you go. Just bracket it down. Bracket it down.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the plan. That's actually the plan.
We should also say hello to others in chat. Oh, you see our good friend, Mr. Richard Campbell of he's famous. Did you know he was famous?
I think he's done a couple of episodes of a podcast before.
Yeah, like 2 or 3, but they're huge. The 2 or 3 episodes he has, absolutely huge.
Yes.
Also, hello to Kowski. Hello to the fairest of Brits. Who else has said hello? Crush Networks, who said his son is OCD he's an OCD cabling master.
Send him over, man. Send him over.
There you go. Vizio MVP, of course, in the house says, "Oh, we're all the way up to 12 listeners." Yep. Keeps growing every MVP summit. We pick up 1 or 2, and yeah, that's.
Hey, I promoted the show. I promoted the show a couple of weeks ago when I was doing my fast track engineering talk about what is advocacy at Microsoft, and I think we picked up a couple new ones there too.
Ah, very nice, very nice.
I will point out there was one comment. I think Crush Networks is being a little bit spicy today. He's noticing that you are wearing your glasses more, and I'm wearing my glasses less. So that's the evolution of the show, I think.
Is that your vision has got so bad it's reset back to normal, and I'm still.
So I can never remember nearsighted and farsighted. I can't see things far away, but I can see things close up.
Right.
And what is it for you? You can't see things.
It's close up. Well, close up, and then I have a little bit further away. I've got.
So my optometrist was telling me that as you get older, people that are like me that can't see things far away but can see things close up, our vision actually moves better in that direction.
It'll correct.
People like you move the other way to get it worse, so it becomes more dependent on it. So my wife has the same level of eye concept as you do, where you can see things far away really well, but have to use stuff for up close. She's having to use her glasses more too, and I just celebrate the fact that I don't.
It's gotten to the point that the last time I went to the optometrist, I said, "Can we stop using the term at your age?"
Oh, nice. Young man, watch what you're saying.
At your age, things will start to slow down. Okay, can we stop? Yeah, let's just stop doing that. Let's just stop doing that.
Why this conflict? Why these harsh tones? We're working.
I know, right? Why are you hurting me?
I'm giving you my money.
Have you guys heard about this Apex hack that happened?
The what?
Yes. Apex, the video game Apex.
Oh, the finals, the esports that was going on. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So if I interpret this correctly, I saw this, bad freeze frame picture of a guy going like this, and apparently during the finals match for a big lot of money, tell me if I'm getting this right. All of a sudden, the guy that was playing, or one of the guys that was playing in the lead, could see people through walls, instant aimbot, which is a traditional cheat code that all of a sudden happened.
Yep.
He didn't activate it. He didn't load it. So he immediately said, stop, because he didn't want to have any association with it going on to compromise his possible win. And as you said, the second person in place as well had a similar problem too on the stream. And what they do, how do they resolve it?
So it's not been resolved. So what it was is, of course, the non-hack security community immediately jumps to, oh my God, there's an RC, there's, because Apex is covered by, I think, what is it? Easy Cheat is the name of the
anti-cheat service they subscribe
anti-cheat service, Easy Anti-Cheat or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's got, remote code execution. It's Easy Anti-Cheat. Easy Anti-Cheat went through all their stuff and they went, no, it ain't us. So it's been interesting because there's a YouTuber by the name, he goes Pirate Software, who is he used to work for Blizzard.
Former Blizzard, yeah.
He used to work for Blizzard. His most recent job was hacking power plants for the US. He's done a 2-video series. I've watched the first one and I'm partway through the second video where he's actually talking to people about this. And actually the second video, he's speaking to one of the people who it happened to.
Oh yeah.
And so they're really trying to narrow down, kind of where it came from. And the more that he's talking, the more they are ruling out the fact that it's client side and that it sounds like this person is able to remotely execute of the name of the guy I'm speaking of. The Pirate Software is his YouTube channel. I don't know his name. Thor. Yes, Thor is what he goes by.
That's his actual name.
Oh, there you go. All right then.
Just like I go by. He
has an incredible broadcaster voice. Like I just sit and listen to him, and I'm like, man, he's just got the ultimate broadcasting voice. But
he's like announcer boy, but full time.
Oh no, Jason Thor Hall.
Yeah,
his father actually created a lot of the cutscenes for Blizzard.
Oh, very cool.
All the games, the cutscenes. He was like the director of those
very
cutscenes.
Cool. Yeah. But the more things keep coming out, and again, I probably have another, 2 hours worth of listening to this YouTube chat as it appears that somehow somebody is actually able to send code to a server. So they have access in some way, shape, or form. At least that's what it's appearing now.
It's appearing to be server side on the Apex servers, is what you're saying.
Or he's somehow able to remotely, send a command through like a buffer overflow or something like that. But Apex hasn't come out yet and said what the cause is. Obviously, it's going to take time. But it's definitely been a fascinating. Was that?
I was saying this championship is on pause at this point in time because there was like $5 million in the purse that they're going to be giving out.
Well, so this was the first stages of that where people are playing from home and then they make their way to the World Championship where they play on stage and everything's a controlled environment with servers that are specifically set up for the event. But when I first heard about this, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that the first phase was at home. Our good friend Bill, another random IT guy, was chatting with me about it, and he's like, "Did you see this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, somebody with the event team got compromised." And he's like, "No, this happened at their houses." And I'm like, "Oh shoot!" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not playing Fortnite. I'm not playing Apex. I'm not playing anything that uses Easy Anti-Cheat." And I'm like, because here's the problem, right? Easy Anti-Cheat has kernel level access to your machine.
Yeah.
And imagine if something was compromised at kernel level at that scale. Like think of the millions and millions of people that play Fortnite or Apex or any number of other games that this Easy Anti-Cheat uses. But it's pretty crazy. And so he basically installed, for one guy, he did wall hacks. For another one, he did aimbotting. And then what was really interesting was he's actually gone in and gifted Apex packs, which are basically you buy like a pack of cards kind of a thing, and through
to get
RNG
your skins
get
or
really
weapons
cool
upgrades
items.
or whatever it is.
Yeah. And these items can be worth money in the real market, right? If you get this ultra rare set of gloves, for instance, right, it could be worth money. Jay Shock just put the link to the Pirate Software page. But this is super cool because the hacker immediately started posting in a chat with this guy's team or one of the players' teams, basically going, I'm doing this, I'm hacking this, right? And that otherwise, if he hadn't have done that, you can imagine the backlash on these hackers, or sorry, on these not hackers, these gamers, right? Because you had that installed and you accidentally executed it, right, during the tournament. So
nice.
It's absolutely fascinating. Anyway, I'm like kind of into this.
Kind of intersects your worlds across the board, my friend.
Yeah,
your gaming
it's just very interesting. Yeah,
your gaming background and the security team.
Yeah, I want to learn more. Every time Thor, the pirate software guy on YouTube, speaks with somebody about this, he's able to kind of start talking through things and asking questions, and it's really interesting to see how his mind works. So he's banned something like 300 million players when he was working at Blizzard through discovering how cheats work and those kinds of things. So it was really cool. TRP 8472. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Says thinks it was a mix of rat tools plus some exploit. Yeah, I mean, who knows? But he's been there apparently. Listening to one of the people that was affected, this individual has been around for quite some time and has been doing things. He's been crashing servers. He's been stream sniping. But one of the pieces that just came up in the early part of this latest video that came out was apparently the hacker actually needed the server ID of where the people were because he couldn't just randomly go in. Yeah. So that leads me to believe that he's got some way of gaining access to the servers, but yeah, it was very interesting. The first episode, Thor goes into this conversation where everybody was, just slamming EA, right? You've known about this, you don't care about this, you don't care about your players, blah, 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 blah. And EA, I don't know if you're aware of this, but EA over the last couple of months has laid off a considerable number of people in the industry, developers and stuff. And somebody basically piped up on social media and said, well, EA, you should have laid off your security team. And one of the people and the store guy's like, look, these guys there's different groups, right? Devs build games, marketing's marketing games. The guys who have the monetization or microtransactions are doing microtransactions. The security team's doing security stuff. They're not always going to tell you what they're doing. Yeah. Because they don't want the other person to know how they found them, if they found them. They may want to know more about what it is they could possibly be doing. There's all sorts of reasons why they wouldn't come out immediately and address this. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Rich Campbell says it's EA. They don't really care. I mean, and again, who knows? I do think what is a little disappointing for me is that they, particularly with Apex. So here's the thing. Apex is a free-to-play game, meaning that it's a target. And at some point, how much effort are you going to put into a free-to-play game, right? They're making money on microtransactions. That's not vulnerable, and things aren't at risk, like hackers in there's several games that hacking runs rampant in, right? I don't play Call of Duty because it's just insane, right? It's the same with Tarkov right now is pretty crazy with cheaters. Not as bad as it has been, but it's still pretty bad once you get into the higher levels. So it's kind of it's a cat and mouse game that goes on. It's super interesting. I'm gonna keep watching it, keep figuring it out. Obviously, the free games are a bigger target, right? They have big audiences, and
Right.
the security. Maybe they're not. Maybe EA isn't resourced for it, right? But I do think I do wish that that they would come out with their community managers and go, "We hear you. We're working on this." Like, at least say something. But as for now, nobody's talking.
Even though there's it's a free to play game, the problem is they have professional gaming leagues for it. They need to do a better job around anti-cheat for the professional leagues.
For esports. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you're gonna make it go esports, yeah. I don't disagree.
I mean, CSGO had to do that.
I mean, and where is the NCAA for esports? Like,
where is it? Oh, there. So there's been
some level of governing body that says minimum bar for security posturing.
Well,
in these esports games.
So yeah, I mean, regulation of esports, like they've tried it twice, and it's both times it's failed, right? So yeah, interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, chat. I mean, look, I don't want to go into. I mean,
we should start the show possibly.
Yeah, we should just start the show. I mean, look, I'm fascinated by it just because it's one of those interesting things. And, this hacker's decided, it sounds like this hacker's very skilled.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little disappointing that, that he's doing it. He's showing off his skills this way versus, he can make a lot of money. Instead decides to be a little bit destructive to put his name out. I mean, and that's what it is, right? Look, because listen, majority of the time, hackers, they're like Thor says, he's like, we're trying to solve a puzzle.
Yeah,
that's all it is. We're in it to solve a puzzle because they're fascinated by it. But then there's others that do things maliciously, right? So,
I actually had an employee back at my business in Montana who broke into a commercial website and was arrested for it. And I looked at the kid, and he was a young kid. We hired him, as an intern out of high school. And it was like, why did you do this? He's like, well, I needed something on my resume for when I apply for security jobs.
Well, that'll do it.
That's one way to do it, I guess.
Have you ever been convicted of a felony, Tick?
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever been convicted of a computer crime? So this could be a similar type situation. I don't want to say that it is, but it could be.
Who knows? Hey, did you know that we actually have segments of the show?
I believe we do. And the first one is typically called From the Trenches, which
trenches.
The previous 20 minutes of the show has not been about.
No, because I got off on a random tangent. I'm sorry. I'm interested with it. I don't know. It's fascinating because it's
like I said,
two worlds that I play in.
It's like you said, it covers both worlds, and it does tangentially relate to the stuff that you manage and work with and have friends in that space. So I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first one,
From the Trenches is the things that we do in our day jobs.
Yeah. I've been uploading stuff to the YouTubes. And I've been preparing for stuff, and I've been filming in the studio, and I've been working with our backup audio engineer, Mr. Pierre Roman, up there in Canada for the longest time, over the last couple of weeks to get ready for a little event that's known as the Windows Server Summit 2024 edition. Thank you very much. Powered by engineering, which is going live on Tuesday, the 26th of March. 30 plus technical sessions created by engineering teams across Microsoft and the MVP community around the Windows Server ecosystem. So
can you give us
cool stuff?
Can you give us a hint at what we're going to see?
Ooh.
Can you give us?
Well, I don't even have to really give you a hint. Like if you go to aka.ms/Windows Server Summit 2024. Pierre, nod if I got that right, please. So I can see in the screen. I think that's right. He's on mute, so I can't hear him badmouth me right now.
That's good.
Okay, but yeah, you can put it in the chat. It is all there and set and ready to go. One of the sessions that I'm interested in was actually done by our good friend Ned Pyle, talking about a topic that Steve Seifus is very interested in, which is like the death of NTLM for authentication purposes. for login purposes. We have another session brought up by Cliff Fisher and the rest of the Active Directory engineering team talking about the new things inside of Active Directory for Windows Server 2025 for those of you working in an on-premises and hybrid environment. Very cool
Disclaimer,
stuff there.
it's not called the death of NTLM.
Yeah. That's
Won't
just
say
the that's the
PR's been over my ass all week.
Yeah. So anyway, that one's there. And then we've actually got I forget her name. Her and her team, I think they're based out of San Francisco, are doing something about virtualized GPUs and GPU hardware pass-through on your Windows Server boxes. So yes, we've got GPU accelerated LLM capable AI capable hardware coming out in 2025 for Windows Server 2025. Amazing stuff that's going on there. Another one talking about the effects of green and the effects of power consumption and other things like that. So like I said, Pierre, I believe, has gone ahead and actually put a link to the cheat sheet playlist on YouTube of all the work that we've been doing. That basically are premiered videos that are going to be going live at the specified time. But if you go back again to aka.ms/Windows Server Summit 2024, you will see the full 3-day schedule with direct links to each of the sessions and details of each of the sessions that you can go off and go see. And this is the sponsored, not sponsored, free promo for the Windows Server. And that was, once again, aka.ms/Windows Server Summit 2024 that you can go off and go to. It's completely free, brought to you by various engineering teams at Microsoft. So it's been a busy freaking week and change, not to mention MVP Summit the week before that. Yeah. Fun.
How was MVP Summit? I know you can't talk about what you saw. Hashtag NDA.
I can talk about the non-NDA stuff, but the stuff that I saw, which is a whole bunch of people I haven't seen in real life in a long time that came out. There were over 1,000 people that were there that were MVPs, which was awesome from around the world on campus. I was a volunteer photographer because I have been cleared to be able to take pictures of speakers and of what I would call B-roll of, candid shots of attendees and frolicking in the hallways and climbing tree houses and stuff like that. So I was taking a lot of pictures in there, which was fun. And I actually was approached by a number of people who said that they are a longtime listener of the podcast of Patch and Switch, want to get a selfie or want to say hello. I didn't know half of them.
This show?
That's what I said. That's what I said. So we had listeners that are there that actually listen to the show and just prefer to stay in the background. So that was fun to be able to go off and see. So it's nice to know that people actually listen and enjoy some of the ramblings and craziness that goes on in this show.
Yeah. Hey, very good. That also probably reinforces that you should be posting past episodes of the program before, a year.
I'll take a note of that.
Yeah, you should put that on your list. Maybe put that on your list. Ferris Sabris has a question. For us outside of the Pacific time zone, how soon after the Windows Server Summit sessions will they be available for on demand?
As Pierre is frantically waving at me in the backstage of StreamYard, it's available on that YouTube list immediately. Immediately. So basically, as soon as they go live
at the time of broadcast.
Yes, immediately at the time of broadcast. So basically, if Jeff Woolsey is speaking on a topic at 9:00 Pacific time, it will be available at 9:00 Pacific time for replay, as well as being able to watch as it's premiered. So
excellent.
Yeah, we're from a back end perspective, we're playing around with some different tools to be able to see how this works for a very lightweight and agile and scrappy event capabilities. Obviously, we know in person would be better. My wildest dreams, we might actually be able to have some kind of an in-person event someday around this, powered by engineering. We'll see. But the idea is we're using, it's called Tech Community at Microsoft. That's where our blog is located at IT Ops Talk and other things. You've probably seen blogs on there before. It's a lightweight place where Microsofties can go and do fast social engagement with content. So we're using that, and that basically gives us our landing page, which then has a scheduling grid of all the 30 plus sessions. And then the link to that session takes you to another page that has the actual embedded player from the YouTubes that I've been working on with Pierre to get uploaded, embedded and counting down, ready to go. And then when the 9 o'clock time starts, then the video starts and you can go off and watch it there. The coolest part, though, is during the time when those sessions are live, like, for instance, the 9 o'clock with Jeff Woolsey as an example, Jeff is also on and watching the YouTube chat, as well as watching the tech community comments section where you can ask questions about stuff. So if you had a question about something that's going on the screen or about what they're talking about, you can go ahead and post that question inside the comments section, and Jeff and or someone from Jeff's team or my team would be able to get in there and answer it for you. So good interaction that way. Lightweight,
Very
scrappy, pulling this together. Pierre has been the master puppeteer, pulling all the strings, doing a bunch of work and delegating even more, even delegating to his boss and his boss's boss to be able to get stuff done. So we get it done on time.
Very nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well,
That's been
be
occupied
sure to
our
lock
mind.
in starting next Tuesday.
You got it. You got it. So if you haven't done so already, go to aka.ms/Windows Server 2024. Shout that from the hilltops. Use your socials. Use your programs. Get the word out. Talk about it. Geeks programming the content, community involvement to be able to make it happen, and also suggested content as well. See where we go.
Can
Very
you
cool.
dig it?
You got it.
Very
Now,
good.
I'm curious, what have you been doing all week, says Rick, just wondering what Joey's been doing for work all week.
You know what I've been doing all week, but yeah, we'll let everybody else know. I can talk a little bit about it. So there is this little event happening in May in Seattle. It's around developers.
Wait, it's Comic-Con, PAX West, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, no. We're talking about Microsoft
Con.
Build. If you head on over to build.microsoft.com, you can go register whether you want to attend in person or virtually. There are options, but there is now a set of security sessions. We'll be announcing content for the event shortly.
Did you submit a session on the Apex hack?
No, I did not. Though that'd be actually really cool if we knew something about it. Like, I'd love to talk about it, but so I think so I've been spending a lot of my time kind of going through session submissions, session reviews, session acceptance. Now we're playing the game of updating titles and abstracts, just to make sure everything's all good. And then I'm kind of shepherding. Shepherding would be a good word. Some of the security stuff that will be shown at Build upcoming at the end of May, toward the end of May, mid to late May. It's the 20-something. Listen, that's so far away from me right now. I'm barely able to think about what's happening this weekend. So yeah. So that's where I've been spending a lot of my time, a lot of effort. Also, the AI tour has been happening. So the Microsoft AI tour, we were just in Paris and also in Berlin. So thanks, DJ Eddie, the 21st to the 23rd. You can get all of that. So the AI tour, my team's been involved. So I've been gathering a lot of feedback of sessions and then having to take it back to various teams and go, hey, we need to adjust and fix this, or here's some feedback there. So that's where a lot of the time is. It's kind of very event focused, event heavy. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see more security content landing in more places, and getting more security content built. My team has done a lot of work, particularly around AI security, that will start showing up here relatively soon. We announced we had the Microsoft Secure event, which was a digital online event around on security. We announced the pending GA for Security Copilot, and the team has done a ton of work. You've probably seen blog posts from Rod Trent coming out on prompting. You've seen there's a webinar series that Sarah Young's been doing. It's a bunch. It's a lot of content. We've been building a lot of content. So I spend most of my time either reading titles and abstracts and making changes, or watching videos and suggesting changes. Or that's why I can't seem to think straight. So
nice. It really works with our shortened attention spans as a result of being video focused for the last 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. Why could it more importantly, Joey, when does my Saturday night entertainment start on Radio Ronin? Oh, hey, let me go ahead and shamelessly promote the Bash Music, featuring myself, my good friend Jimmy Chunga, and the legendary youngster Mr. Chandler Smith. We're back this weekend. We're back on Saturday night. If you jump on over to mixcloud.com/bash_music. That's the new home. So we'll be on Mixcloud. So Mixcloud is cool because we basically have paid for the right to play any music, so we can play the music. There's also a video component, though I will tell you right now we're not going to be doing video. We haven't quite figured out how do we set everything up there. So I've done a really cool atmospheric kind of video thing with like pictures of cities and cars driving and DJ stuff, which is kind of cool. But we'll be back.
I want CO2 cannons. CO2, not virtual ones.
Yeah,
I want
real ones.
Cannons.
Do you know how expensive canisters of CO2 are to do that?
What are you talking about? Just rig something up with this canister for your beer kegerator.
Yeah, that's like half of a wet line. You would just see a like one little thing, and that whole canister would be empty. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, we could change it to explosives. It's a bit more energy in it.
Well, we are doing it indoors, so I don't know that. Maybe if we have an outdoor show, we can do that.
Okay.
But also the cool thing about Mixcloud is if we do a larger event, which we have been talking about here in Las Vegas, like an actual in-person event with the Bash people, we can actually also broadcast it. So
true.
I have everything running on a laptop that I've repurposed.
You didn't go ahead and buy a new gaming one. You just repurposed an existing one.
Well, for right now, because I'm waiting. So, but then I got look at how cute the little Stream Deck Mini is. Look at how cute it is.
Oh, nice.
It's a Stream Deck Mini. It's just so little and cute. But the Stream Deck Mini will run the show. So nice. I'm excited.
Well, that's all DJs do is they just press next button for the next song, right? On their iPad. So
that's all I do. I just
perfect.
Look, Helen, give me your request because that's all I am. I'm a damn iPod. I'm a physical version of your Spotify.
You got it. You don't want to be a physical version of my Spotify. I've got really bad.
No, that believe me, I've seen your Spotify. Nobody needs to see that. Yeah.
So I got a gripe going on right now with my Stream Deck because I've been notified I've got a software update to do on it, and the damn software won't download. It stops at like 19.5 megs as it's downloading, and it won't continue. I'm like, I cancel it. I reboot the machine. I bring it back up again, do some other stuff, and I say, oh, I should update that software again. It goes to 27 megs of the download, then dies on me again.
Have you tried downloading it to another computer?
No, because it's within the software update. It's with the software update.
Richard?
But yes.
Remove the software and install it with WinGet.
But why would I do that? It's already installed. It should just work. Software just
WinGet,
works,
my friend. Move it to WinGet.
Move it to WinGet.
Yes.
Okay. I'll try it out.
TRP8472 says, can we vote for Rick to buy Jared a new model Surface AI-powered laptop? No.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
We do not have the budget for that. This is definitely a free show.
Oh, no. You're not getting away from this.
If we had to buy him a new AI-powered laptop from Surface, it would literally tank the show. And we would not be
I didn't know the show could tank any harder, but you know.
So Rick, you should come from your personal budget.
We do have
just tell Kelly you have to it's a requirement.
I know it's going to come out soon enough anyway, so I'm just going to say it. We have multiple multi-million-dollar sponsors for the show and benefactors that have invested in this show, and I don't want to upset them by having to make a hardware purchase.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
just saying.
Fair enough.
Just saying.
Just in case you need to know, Wired Canuck has been nice enough to publish a YouTube link on installing packages with WinGet for you. So
thank you.
There you go. You've got work to do.
I love it.
Yes, he does.
Second segment of the show. Beer Money, the support that we've been doing for our friends, friends, sisters, uncles, cousins, aunts,
Cats twice removed. Cats and dogs
dogs twice removed.
Yes.
I'm
not blessed with any today.
Any Beer Money stories for you?
I'm still getting the random support requests from twin number 1 in North Dakota, who's there for university. So it's remote troubleshooting stuff. This time it was rather unique, though. It wasn't necessarily. It was more of a life hack request and my thoughts on it. And she plays softball, NCAA, D1 softball. And they have to go. They just started conference play today and they have to bus around all the different schools to be able to go off and play with different schools. So she was asking about what my thought was and how I could rig up something that would make it more comfortable for her on the bus. And the decision was to get a backseat dog bed. Hear me out.
A backseat dog bed.
So the idea is you can buy this backseat dog bed that is actually like one side, the base, and then the other side. Both of these two sides have loops that tie on to the back headrest of the other two chairs. So it's like a suspended hammock that is supported by the seat. But it makes it so that she now has a sleeper section inside the travel bus. And
I'm worried about safety on this. Maybe it's just me, but...
No. There's like a pass-through seatbelt opportunity thing that she could strap into if she needs to.
Okay. All right.
But that was a life hack that she had. And I validated that could work and how to actually hook it up and other things. So it's kind of a Beer Money tech support, I guess you could say.
I mean, look, that's innovation. I mean, gotta love the
Rick,
thinking there.
Rick,
Yeah,
I have a lovely steel cage seatbelt rig. It could easily be installed.
Well, they change the charter buses every single trip, right? So they're not that well off of a team that actually has their own dedicated bus that's all painted and stuff like that.
I'm saying we could do some mods to it that you could just bring it in and lock it in place.
But I'm also proactively waiting to hear for when, hey, Dad, my laptop's too slow. I need to have something else. I know that's coming. Because the laptop that I bought her was one of the Surface Laptop, I think Surface Laptop 4. So it was 2 gens ago. It was back in their graduating year of high school back in the day. And I'm just waiting for it's not working anymore. It's too slow. I need to have more oomph to it to be able to go off and to do something better. So I'm proactively thinking about figuring out what the next replacement's going to be. How about yourself, man? Beer Money yourself?
No. We've kind of got a pause on any Beer Money support because nobody's been here.
Oh yeah.
So the whole family. So I've got the oldest is in Orlando doing the Disney College program. So the girls all went and did a girls' day there, girls' week in Orlando. And so they've been kind of off and gone, and so nobody's been around. It's been a little quiet. They got back this week, but there's not been any requests yet that have popped up as everybody's still in re-entry phase. So I have not done really any Beer Money support. I've not needed any Beer Money support because I did put on hold the gaming laptop purchase. Right. A new model popped up that has gained my interest that I wanted to review some more. And it's another Lenovo, but it's the Slim 7i. So the pricing is starting to come down on that model to where the extra 10 or 15% makes a difference because the weight is like 1.5 pounds lower. The keyboard has individual assigned RGB, which means that I'm going to get more frames per second in my game than just a normal RGB keyboard. Like a normal RGB keyboard gives you more frames per second than non-RGB. But if you can individually assign RGB to your WASD keys,
I was about to say, if you can optimize them for those keys, you get all
100%. 100%. Listen, I need frames when I'm playing Diablo.
Nice.
Anyway,
I hear that Diablo's got a new release coming out with all the fan feedback.
Oh, so listen, Diablo 4. Okay, I know a lot of people are not happy with Diablo 4, particularly this most recent season, which was not great. I waited until they did some updates, and I actually, I may have been playing while everybody was away, and I may have just hit level 100 with my barbarian in like a week. But that's neither here nor there. Let's not talk about the fact that I stayed up way too late playing the game. But Diablo 4, they just did the cool thing their developers are doing is they're doing kind of like a town hall kind of thing, a fireside chat, if you will. I believe that's actually what they call it. So they are introducing a number of changes, and you'll want to go back and watch the videos. But it appears, based on looking at the community and the fan world and the YouTubes of the people I watch, that a lot of people are really happy with the changes that Diablo is making. So, hopefully season 4, which will be delayed a little bit from where they wanted to originally release it, will be much better. So I'm excited about the changes that they're making. They have actually said that they're going to create a PTR, which is a test realm, to allow other players to test it. So they won't release it and then have us testing it and coming back and going, why is all this broken? So I'm excited for that. But yeah. Anyway, sweet. Sorry, we're totally tangent there.
It works.
Random spending. Have you randomly spent on things?
Isn't it beer talk before random spending?
Oh, beer talk.
I had a nice 10-barrel hazy IPA with my dinner the other night at a tavern down the road.
Stop.
It was very nice. I actually had.
Do not want to hear about 10-barrel.
It was so good. I had 2 of them, and I slowly drank the second one as the condensation on the side of the glass was beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Okay, all right, thanks. Appreciate that.
In the background, in the back show, you can't see this, but Pierre just held up a beer that his wife had gave him last night because he was working late. Said
it was alcohol-free Beck's.
It was the alcohol-free Beck's that she.
I mean, when you didn't think Beck's could get any worse.
I want to know, first of all, why is that in his fridge in the first place? But it's there. It's there.
Did you know that that BrewDog makes alcohol free?
They call it AF, though.
That is correct. Which
it took me a while to figure that one out.
So I actually regularly have one of their. I like the Elvis one. That's the one that I prefer, which is kind of a hazy version. That's in the fridge constantly downstairs. But yeah, because sometimes you just don't need the
Sometimes you feel like you need to have a beer in the middle of the workday, but it's on a conference.
BrewDog. It tastes like a BrewDog Elvis. It's very nice. Right. It's very nice.
I don't know if I shared this. I had a random spend just recently because we're kind of doing beer talk and random spend. I picked up a server rack. I don't know if I shared that with everyone on the calls on the podcasts yet or not.
Well, you talked. I think the last time you talked about thinking about getting one.
Yeah, so I ended up picking up a used $200 what it cost me, which is awesome. A 15U rack from a gentleman that was trying to downsize his space over in Bremerton. A 15U self-contained rolling full-size rack, full-size depth rack that I'll be installing inside of my storage closet downstairs in the not too distant future.
Is this the no ventilation storage closet?
The no ventilation storage closet, which should be fine for overheating. You don't have to worry about that at all. Right.
Okay.
I could put in an air conditioning unit in there, I guess. Some actual cooling. I have a portable aircon unit I could use down there if I needed to. Or it might go in the garage as another option in the garage. So we'll find out where it goes. I could have it in here, but this is a small office. Ever since I moved out of Carbon Central, CO2 Central downstairs, my office is much smaller. And as you can see, I don't have a lot of depth of field back here. Like I'm already on the side kind of thing, right? So I feel like I need to have more space. I don't think I want to bring a server rack in here.
So what are you putting in said server rack?
Well, I've got a couple of Hyper-V boxes and a couple of machines. In theory, I could actually put my gaming PC inside of the server rack because I've got my Thunderbolt connection that I can run my entire system remotely off of that one fiber optic cable.
Does that work?
It does work. It does work. Well, mostly, I think. But it could be that I could have it in a different room or a different area. So we'll see. We shall.
TRP 8472 says Rick better watch his electric bill.
What are you talking about?
He's going to watch it go up.
Hey,
no, he's installing solar.
I'm getting solar, man. I'm going to have a free electricity from the suns because we get tons of sun
in Seattle.
Hey, Rick.
Lots of sun in Seattle.
I need more capacity in the West US 2 data center. Can I throw some servers in your rack?
Yeah, no problem, man. Feel free to bring over some of those ginormous Maya clusters we're now starting to deploy with the side-by-side cold stack, according to Rasinovich. I would take those.
No, I've got big HPE servers. So
oh, nice. Are they quiet? Could I put them on while I'm having the show?
Oh yeah.
You think?
Oh yeah, they're totally quiet. Totally. Okay. I mean,
they're like 10 dB or 20 dB, and that's it.
They're just below that of a afterburnered engine.
Okay.
So they're just below it.
Yep. I like it. We'll talk. How about you, my friend? Any random spending?
Well, I showed earlier I have my little Stream Deck Mini.
Stream Deck Mini. I'm wondering, how come we didn't get the Stream Deck that has integrated audio controls and knobs and dials?
Because we don't need that. I'm literally using it just to change scenes in OBS.
Yeah.
Like everything else is configured. So basically the way that the stream works is that we take the audio, one of the audio outputs from, and I point because I can't turn the camera, but my whole DJ setup is right. You can see one of the speakers right there, right? So my whole DJ setup is there. So one of the outputs from the mixer goes into an external sound card, and then into the laptop, which is configured with OBS. And because they do ask that you have some visuals, we've got some stills and some other video stuff. And it's just basically swapping scenes. And then OBS streaming directly to Mixcloud. So, yeah, we did a full test. I did a full test Wednesday evening. About 6 p.m. and you can, it's really cool because Mixcloud actually allows you to have a stream that's running that's unpublished, and it actually runs on your channel. So you go to your page, but you have to have the hidden URL to get to it.
Right.
So it's super cool. It's like you're accessing everything, testing the connection keys and all of that, changing the bit rates. I've been messing around with bit rates on the audio. When we were running Bash Music before, I had a server that was actually running in the cloud, and I had a whole bunch of audio processing on it, compressors, EQs, so on and so forth, which we can't really do here because you would do it client side and then send it, and then it all goes goodbye after that. So just checking bit rates, changing to see how it'll go. But I'm really excited. I'm excited for Saturday. I believe it's 8 p.m. Pacific time that we'll start.
Nice. You know that these guys are going to ask you to be part of like testing and production and talk about all this, right?
talking about how I set it up, I think I literally just covered that. But yeah, we can absolutely go into it. And
we can stretch it to an hour. Come on.
Yeah, we can definitely
like
that.
I installed OBS and then I created an input. That was the one thing I found out though, is that I was like, oh, I want the source to be the output of this. No, it needs to be on the input side so that it can then go out the out. Yeah. At any rate, it's all good. It's all good. I did buy the little Stream Deck Mini. It's just a cool little, like, it's little and tiny, and you can set multiple pages on it just like a normal Stream Deck and everything, and it just works perfect for this, and it's portable. And the main reason I went with the laptop is so that sorry. There. Okay. The main reason I went with the laptop is so that we could do it whether we decide to do the show here or we decide to do the show at Ronan HQ over the way a bit.
Over the way, across the street, up the
staggering distance. Totally staggering distance.
I actually bought one of those little mini Stream Decks for my significant other to be able to control all the calls that she's on. To start and stop cameras, to hang ups, and to turn on lights and stuff like that. So it's been working for her.
Definitely love me the Stream Deck. Anybody playing March Madness? Anybody do a bracket?
Nope.
I got sucked into it.
Is that like hockey or something?
No, this is college basketball, men's college basketball. The NCAA. The March Madness. Yeah. Wire Canuck, do they have a Stream Deck with only one button? No.
Yes, actually they do. You just use your phone.
Oh, your phone.
You can run an app on your phone and make it into a Stream Deck.
Yeah. Shadiest Panda says, yeah, my bracket is broken already. So I was feeling really good yesterday because I literally only missed one. And then the late night games hit, and so I lost the second one. So I was like,
was there a big upset with Kentucky or something like that?
Sorry?
Was there a big upset with Kentucky yesterday or something?
Yeah, Kentucky got beat, and that was one of the ones that kind of. The good thing is I had them losing in the Sweet 16, so I only missed points for the next round, which is okay.
I saw a great little video meme of the stewardess walking down the aisleway on a plane from Delta with a garbage bag, and you just see like three people on the front take their brackets and fold them up and throw them in the garbage as she's walking past.
Yeah, so I was feeling really good. I'm like, look, at the end of the day, I only missed like two, and so I go into the standings list in the group that I'm in, that I'm competing in, and I'm like ranked 55th.
Wow.
I was feeling really good about myself, and then I realized that there is a whole ton of people that have 99% meaning they've missed one. But that's okay. That's all right. It's my bracket is not completely demolished. The teams that I have moving on mostly play today, so that'll be interesting to see how things go. But I became a degenerate last weekend as I was playing Diablo on my other screens. I was watching a lot of the conference tournaments, and so I became kind of a college basketball degenerate. But now that Vegas has had amazing weather all week long, and I've been watching a lot of softball as well, not just the Twin, but also other teams, because I know kids who I watched play who are now playing in other teams. Homestand for UNLV starts next week, so I have a feeling I'll be jumping out there to catch some UNLV softball and get some sunshine as well. So
cool.
I've been kind of sports inundated of late, which is rare because it's not football season, but enjoying it nonetheless. Oh my goodness, would you look at that?
It's time
for us to choose 3 work safe words, because I have a hard stop and I need to go. So if we head on over to patchandswitch.showbot.tv and we look at some words, we can see what you have been submitting for the title of next week's show. It looks like there's only a few. Not Quite Dead, Shameless Plug Engineering, Wiring OCD, Frolicking, Rick's.
What? Nice.
DNA. So we're gonna do Not Quite Dead, Frolicking, Rick's Rack.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Not
lovely.
Quite Dead, Frolicking, Rick's Rack. That'll be the title for next week. The next show in a fortnight. So that's it. Exciting episode of the Patch and Switch program. Big thank you to Absablog and Lootly, to Wired Canuck for helping out, for J-Shock for helping out. Also the Shady Sapanda, TRP8472. Good to see you. Vizio MVP in the house as always. We've seen our good buddy Rich Campbell. Be sure to check him out on Run As Radio, as well as .NET Racks. Our good friend DJ Eddie L. Good to see you. The fairest of Brits, who will be watching the Windows Server Summit on delay in Tuesday because she is not in the Pacific time zone.
With pints in hand.
Yes, most likely. That's how I would probably encourage people to watch
Why
it.
would you not?
Why would you not? Our good friend Crush Networks, Dave, good to see you in chat. To everybody else who's joined us on the program, we are back in a fortnight's time. That's 2 weeks for those of you who don't speak Fortnite. Until then, have a weekend, everybody.
Are we going to have to worry about getting demonetized for that title next week?
Why?